Hello, everyone. It's Saturday, and it's nice outside, so that's a good thing. And I'm doing a live stream on StreamYard tonight because, it was worth it. Anyways, I figure chill out, enjoy whatever, and try to not make it dead air. See if my YouTube is working right, because usually once in a while YouTube my live stream doesn't act right, so I'm gonna test it out. Yeah, it's a nice weather for finally. And I gotta see why this app has issues. Da 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 da. Gotta love YouTube, pain in the butt. Gotta love YouTube. And I'm doing a live stream on StreamYard. Oh, it's working fine, so that's good. Alright, everything's working fine. Alright, I've been playing on Xbox and live streaming on Twitch, but hey, I figured I'd do this tonight because I was like, yeah, I didn't do a live stream last night because I was tired. I didn't give a crap. I was just had a long day yesterday, and I was like, yep, not doing a Friday night stream. And I've been doing let's see, YouTube Shorts lately because hey, figure since I'm bored, I'll do YouTube Shorts and make a couple of videos and then do live streams at night on Fridays and Saturdays. Maybe Sunday if I get more viewers. Yeah, I don't want to do StreamYard this much because somehow like they give you a limit on how much you can stream, so it's like so pain in the butt. So I figure if I'm doing like a solo stream, I'll be doing it on my phone, and then if I'm doing like a group stream, I'll do it like on StreamYards. So I figure I'd do a StreamYard tonight because said to myself it's worth doing a StreamYard because it's Saturday, and I figure people want to like chat and crap and want to join in and see what's up. Yeah, it's one of the best nights ever for weather wise. Yeah, like I was saying, I was doing gaming and streaming on Twitch, and it's like, and it's coming down to the point where like I don't know if Twitch is going to be owned by Rumble or it's going to be some other company because Amazon's like thinking about getting rid of it, so it sucks. But at least I have a couple of whatever what time I have left on Twitch just in case they get rid of it. And I've been seeing that they're upgrading StreamYard to make it a little bit better, so I was like, yay, about time, because StreamYard had like so many problems with it. Like you could like sometimes you would stream, you're trying to share a video or something, and it will act up or just didn't want to work. Yeah, I just hope they can just make a something like Avatar Maker or something like that, like a 3D avatar. So people can start doing VTubing on here, but you'll never see that anytime soon. And Rumble, thank God Rumble heard everybody saying that shit. Now they're working on updating Rumble. YouTube is kind of like failing in the times because they're trying to be like TV now. They don't want anybody swearing. They don't want anybody. They're just making it less fun on YouTube. I I know I'm not gonna be on here much like every week, but hey, at least I'll try it. Like for StreamYard, I mean, for YouTube, I don't know. YouTube, it's like iffy lately. Like if I'm gonna do the app, I want to make sure I don't have any issues. Like when I'm doing it on my phone, I've found out there was more issues on my phone. But at least I at least I can finally enjoy myself tonight. It was freaking annoying. Yeah, like I noticed that Instagram's becoming a joke now. Over the Meta thing, Meta trying to work it on Facebook and crap, trying to make like paid to be what you call it there verified. I'm like laughing. I'm like, really? What's another thing? Oh yeah, Twitter's doing that now. They're forcing people to subscribe to like Twitter Blue. It's like, really? And everybody's praising Elon Musk. I'm like, I wouldn't pay money just so I could just use social media. And just showing people that you're just basically like, I'll try to figure this, try to detail it for you guys. It's basically saying you want to be a paid win server if you're playing video games. Like for social media, they're trying to do like, oh hey, you got to pay to get verified so you can look cool. And it's like, yeah, like, do I want to pay to get verified? No, I want to earn it. You want to earn. You want to earn that respect, not buy that respect. It looks stupid. It just shows you that you just wasted your whole money where you can just save that money, bought a PC, or have video games on your PC or console, or could have done something better. Go out to eat or something instead of paying so much money just to be verified online. And it's funny, also funny that they always that that Facebook is doing the same thing. They're like, "Oh, that's a cool idea, but you gotta pay to have more friends and followers and all that other shit." It's like, no, I'm good. I waste money to be verified or to add more people. Shit. Where'd it go? Oh, to add more people to the server and stuff. It's so stupid. You gotta have a paywall for everything nowadays. It's starting to sound like Xbox and Sony with their subscription fee. That's another thing. I would rather save money and bought like the ultimate pass than pay for a verification thing saying that I got verified. it's I don't know what to say. It's just like you're, they're they're just basically being like mobile games now. They should have just called Twitch like they should have Twitch, not Twitch, but Twitter and Facebook be like Tencent now, or have Tencent buy them because basically all they're doing is forcing people to verify their own shit. And it's not fun for the people that don't have the money. They need to make a social media where you don't have to force people to pay for anything. Mine's kind of like went downhill. They were good when they first started, and they started banning people. The dog is being annoying. Stop. And then plus like adding on, oh, what's it there, that thing they had before, that's no longer available because they got rid of most of all the other social media apps that were, was it, free speech apps. Gab is a joke. I don't like Gab. Something with Gab, it just turns me off. And then they have, was it, what other social media app? There's a ton of them. And it's like, I don't know what to say. They're basically just making people hate using social media because you're just forcing them to not want to like pay, not want to be on there anymore. Twitch is pushing people away with their stupidity with the being woke and shit. It's so, I don't know how to say it. It's weird to see all these social media platforms try to force people to be something they're not. And yeah, and another thing that made me laugh was like what Activision is like going nuts now because they don't know if they're gonna get bought out by Microsoft or the the FCC. What, no, not the FCC. I forget who was involved in it. The thing. Well, Sony was involved in it too. Sony is a little bitch tits. They're trying to stop that because they don't want to lose. They're afraid they'll lose the brand, the all those games that they want because they want Call of Duty, and it's hilarious. It's already becoming a monopolized. Like gaming has started to become a monopolized area because look at all the PC games lately. There's like certain games that you can download if you have a Chromebook. There's certain games you can download if you have Windows. It's like really stupid. And another thing is, it's like you can't. Xbox is doing that now with certain games. Like it's gotta be. It's gotta be with the old games and the new games. They're not combining anymore. They're kind of like forcing out the Xbox One. And there's a lot of things. What is another thing that I was looking up? Oh yeah, they're shutting down some of the eShops and stuff like that. The service, the Nintendo service thing, they're closing down some of the games and stuff. It's hilarious. It's like the Nintendo Switch became like a worthless product after their ideas is like, oh, let's shut down paid servers and stuff like that. Like a service thing. It's like, come on now, Nintendo. You used to be like the people like, oh, we want to do want to be like a powerful company. It's like, yeah, it's showing that you're being lazy now. It's the thing about Nintendo now. They don't care. They don't give a crap about shit. They want the money. They're more into the money now than they were back in the day. Like back in the day, they were for the customers and shit like that. But now they're for themselves. People think that like they're still doing it for the fans. It's like no, they're not. They're really shitting on their fans lately. Save for Sony. Sony don't give a crap about their fan base. I'm not a Sony or Nintendo or Xbox fan. I'm just I'm just in it for the games. That's all. Because it's all about who has the better games. Sony, yeah, they have only good party games. They're basically like Nintendo now. It's like the only thing they're good for is first party games. If they're it's like their third party games, the games are like crap or unplayable or anything else. It's like no, not crap. They're cheaper versions of like what Xbox has. It's like and everybody does see it. They're like, oh, I'm such a Sony pony. I'm just gonna be like caring about what Nintendo has to say. It's like not Nintendo, but Sony has to say. It's like really, 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 people, you really would go for that. It's hilarious that nobody like like everybody failed to realize that like everything today in these day and age like gaming is like it's slowly coming to be a monopoly. I say if Nintendo wants to keep their company alive, I think Microsoft should buy Nintendo just so they can keep their business going. Their business is failing. Like Nintendo's ideal thing of running gaming is like I don't know how to say it, but they don't they're they're not well known for all their stuff. Like if you go to if you go look back then, like Nintendo back then, they were like the power, like Sega and Nintendo were like the powerhouse of consoles. They were like the nonstop. They were like the tanks of console gaming. And then when Sony came out, Microsoft came out, like Sega was like slowly drifting into the fame light. It was like because it's not because of what it was like the company. It was because the marketing, like the marketing was the downfall of Sega, and they try to like what's it? They try to I don't know how to say it. They're trying to make it so everybody would go, "Oh, this is awesome! This is the coolest way to go with like for anything," and they don't realize like Nintendo and Sega were like they were yes they were like the popular group back in the day, but the thing with Sega was they didn't know how to market their games. They kept using stupid commercials, stupid ads for stupid things. They had a great. I can't bitch about Sega. Sega and Nintendo had like the best ideas for their consoles, but Nintendo goes for the weak side so they can make it cheaper. And Sega's problem was they kept their downfall was the marketing and the idea for their idea of their brands. They were worried about the first party brands than the third party brands. Like they basically shit on Capcom when they were trying to get because it was a powerful console, yes. Were they smart on how to run their consoles? No, because they had the memory cards were weak as fuck, and they had was it the games they had out were were good. They weren't perfect. The it was basically like the graphics were basically like let's say like cheap. It were like they weren't like the best, but there were something. Crazy Taxi was my favorite out of Crazy Taxi and Sega Adventures 2 and Fantasy Star Online was my favorite out of all the Sega and GameCube, like for GameCube days. The GameCube took over what Sega had. That was the good thing about it. Like, don't get me wrong, GameCube was kind of like Nintendo was stupid when they made the tiny disc and say, "Oh, hey, we're gonna make it awesome." And then, and what another thing about Nintendo? What was cool about it? They had the Star Fox Adventures game. That was fun, even though it was a rip off to their idea for an old game that they were working on for the N64. But they turned it into a GameCube. Like they upgraded the graphics, upgraded everything, put Star Fox in it. Oh yeah, and Andros in it, and it made it. They made a great choice of doing it. Now it's like, was it a few years later? You don't see a Star Fox game. You only see it, well, not a few years. They had one out before that, but it was shit. It was for the Wii U, and they were like, oh well, we could do this, we could do that, we could do this for the next console that comes out. And it's like, well, why don't you just make another let's say make another Star Fox, or make something like a beat 'em up game. Bring back your beat 'em up titles. There's a lot of beat 'em up titles. Same with Capcom. Same with Sega. There's a lot of stuff out there in their catalog that they can use to bring back. But the thing is, that, like the only one that's thinking about bringing their stuff back is like Konami, and it's like it's shocking to hear Konami wants to make games again for console. It's like cool, but what they're gonna do, how they're gonna work with it? What uptime, man? It Konami. I can say like Konami wanted to bring back Castlevania and Contra because they're saying that Contra and Castlevania is making a comeback. Like, well, the Netflix Castlevania was the good reason why they wanted to bring back the franchise. Like everybody liked the Netflix show, and it's like it's shocking to see that. Another thing that I'm shocked to see that they're bringing back was Microsoft with some of their games. I say if Nintendo wants to keep going, they should partner up with Microsoft. Like really partner up. Like buy the company, let them buy the company, have the Nintendo Switch, the next Switch, be like have Microsoft help develop it so they can have a better chip, a powerful chip in it, and still make money out of it. But if they do, people are gonna bitch because it's gonna be a little bit pricier. But that's a good thing because it's gonna be you could call it was it the Xbox N or something like that. The Xbox N. Picture it now. Your handheld Xbox. Handheld Xbox. That'd be a cool idea. Think about it, people. We should do a hashtag hashtag let Xbox buy Nintendo. Because if Xbox bought Nintendo, think about it. Have you could have all your old Double Dragons. You could have Battletoad and Double Dragons 2 on your on Xbox, and you could have Mario, Mario, and Battletoad. No, Nintendo characters and Xbox characters working together. That'd be cool. That'd be a cool concept. What they could do? They could make Smash Brothers again. Super Xbox Extreme Smash Brothers. There you go. It people need to think of new ways. Like it's time to merge. Like really, like Nintendo needs to merge with Xbox. Microsoft's been giving them so much shit, and they've been doing well. Like it's sad that Microsoft is like helping out Nintendo succeed. Oh yeah, and that's funny. Was another funny thing I was noticed? Like what was it? Oh yeah, the Amazing Lucas. The 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 Amazing Lucas is like doing live streams now, but shitting on Christians now, and he's kissing ass to like the far left, the LGBTQ and Biden's ass. It's hilarious. I was laughing when I saw that shit. I'm like, what amazing! I remember when he used to kiss Trump's ass because he used to go to all Trump's rallies and shit. And you see him now; he's kissing Biden's ass. And I'm like, "Yep, you're a shill." I didn't care for him anyways when he was first doing that. I used to laugh when everybody used to kiss Donald Trump's ass. It's like, oh yeah, he was a good president. Don't get me wrong, but it was like they acted like he was like a god or something. Yeah, he got shit done, but at least he wasn't like. I can agree, he wasn't like Biden, where he was like off the wall, doesn't know where he is at, didn't talk to a wall or invisible something. I don't know what he was talking to. He was like he's really lusty. He's got his dementia. He has dementia. And I want to say it, and people will be like, no, he doesn't. Yeah, he does, because there's no way that a person that has common sense would talk to a wall or forgets where he's at, or was another thing he did. He he was like not even doing what he was told. He would flip out in rage. Somebody said something that was a fact. He is not fit for office, and people don't see that. it's gonna be like a point where people are just gonna say enough's enough, and they're just gonna give up and throw their hands up in the air and say they don't just don't care anymore. It's sad to see that this country's gone downhill. And then there wasn't another thing about Uganda with the anti-gay bill, and what and the reason why they were doing it because they were having the same issues that America was having, like trans people were shooting up places and shit like that, or fighting people because they were like, "Oh, my rights" and shit like that. And then when they were like, "Well," the Uganda head of Uganda was like, "Oh well, it's time to think of something new and do what they want to do." And it's like it's their ideology. It's Africa's, Uganda's ideology. So you can't just like blame their culture for everything. Because it's what was going on. It was the woke ideology screwed a lot, started pissing off people, and they just don't know how to control themselves. What they do is they fight. They don't get their own way. They have to fight somebody or shoot up something or whatever they want to do just so they can get attention. And they should, if that's the case, the government should step in and say enough's enough. But no, they'll just blame guns and everything else because we don't know what we're talking about. It seems like their eyes. I respect the whatever the alphabet community, but I'm saying if it's in a different country and they're having issues and they don't know how to control it, let them do their own thing. We should be policing their country, and we shouldn't be saying we should stop do it. We should start being enemies with the person that it's like it's none of our business. Shit, you were bitching when China and not China, Germany and England were up your ass. You were bitching about you leaving Iraq. Not you guys, but the government, the U.S. government. And they were like, well, we can't do that. We can't handle this. I can't handle getting yelled at by people from different countries about us leaving the Iraq war, the Iraq area. It's they want to be the U.S. not America U.S. government wants to be the world police. They want to control everything. They want to go in and be assholes with everybody. They can't even control. They can't even do a good job here. Shit, the government don't give a shit about anybody. They've been doing stupid crap since this past year. They don't really want to really work. It's it's sad to see that our country is falling apart because our government is more worried about guns, is worried about money, worried about giving money to Ukraine. We should be having our money going to Ukraine. Ukraine's been doing weird shit, been doing corrupt shit for these past I don't know how many years they've been corrupt, and they don't. And we have to worry about them now. Give me a fucking break. And you wonder why everybody in the U.S. is getting pissed off at the government because they don't give a because the government is like giving money away like it's candy. It's like, oh hey, We'll give a mill away for a couple billions away to Ukraine. We don't give a crap. You shouldn't. You shouldn't be giving money away. You should be worried about the people around here. There's so many problems with in this country. I'm not saying about. I'm saying like not about all of the crimes and shit. I'm talking about everything else. There's shit that's been going on for years. That's like we're having trouble with the roads and stuff. We're having trouble with everything. But you know what? Our government doesn't care. Our government is more worried about everybody else. Nobody gives a shit anymore about who's better than who. I don't care if I'm gonna get views tonight. I'm just so aggravated with everything going on, and then they're wondering why like people are so pissed off at everybody. Nobody's get nobody's gonna get like the 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 perfect moment at all anymore. Like I remember back in like the 90s, like everybody got together, like the government actually gave a shit. And then what was it? And then like right after they're like, oh well, we're now they're like, oh well, we're more worried about Ukraine. I don't know why people are still like support Ukraine. Yeah, no, we shouldn't be supporting Ukraine. We should be supporting Ukraine because there's homeless, there's veterans, homeless veterans. We got we got like the government like shitting on the veterans. Like they're taking away they're trying to take away disability for the veterans. They're trying to take away their retirement pension for the military, for the people that served in the military. It's so fucked up in this country. Well, at least it's not worse than Canada, where they're forcing people to have their pronouns use transgender and drag queens pronouns, or they'll get like a 2,000 fine, or or a long sentence in jail just for misgendering some whatever pronoun somebody. Come on, dog. It's sad to see that they're like, well, we need to make up new rules because we in Canada because we can't handle it. Why don't you just? I don't know why you guys why Canada sucks ass. I like the Canadians. Don't get me wrong. Like the Canadian people, like most of them, not all of them, but the other half can go fuck themselves because they don't care about the people anymore. Like Trudeau basically went so woke that everybody's getting sick of Canada. You They don't know how to run a country anymore. Canada has been really, really stupid lately. And then they have the enough balls to say, well, it's not our fault that we're having issues. It is your fault. It's nobody else's fault. And then was it the assisted suicide thing? Because people are trying to try to get disability or try to get a wheelchair or or something. Oh, just call the suicide. Just call the whatever the suicide line, just so you can just off yourself. That's Canada for you, people. Canada. Nobody's gonna get away with shit in Canada. Nobody's gonna get help in Canada because mostly the government's all about themselves. Same here, but Canada's way worse. And you wonder why, like the president of Mexico is making fun of Canada and the U.S. all the time. We have we have a vice president that just makes up shit that acts like she's been all depressed, oppressed, and shit. Like we're oppressed. We don't get what we want. It's like, huh? It's like why would you want to become vice president or president if you don't want to do the job or you don't want to help the people? They should do if they are trying to get people to run for president. They should ask questions. Do you want to run? Do you want to become president so you can be for the people, or you're just doing it so you can get money for your retirement, so you can make a when you retire, you get a large lump sum. This is what's going on. This is coming down to the point how I see it. If they're not gonna help the people, they shouldn't be running for president. They shouldn't. They shouldn't be like, oh, we're just doing it just first so we can get our benefits. No, it should be. They should have an IQ in the voters. They should have an IQ test done. They should change the voting age, upper the voting age, not lowering it. Because the people that are voting don't know what they're voting for. They don't know their history. Their the the mind development is like so bad. You ask them what what continent we're at. They don't even know. It's like, how do you not know? And you've been to school all your life. Did the school teach you anything? Does the school teach you anything? Like, I was in school, I know all this shit. This is like easy questions, people. Easy questions. But, we're not going to see that. And, no, it's sad to say that they're trying to rewrite history by having Netflix and HBO Max and all those other things try to redo history with taking a white history character and turning it black or turning it Asian or turning it Indian. And it's like, really? Like, great example, the Queen Elizabeth movie, the one before that, they made her black. I'm like, eh? Excuse me? Clearly, the Queen of the England was white, and you guys are gonna turn black. And then the Cleopatra thing. Will Smith, I don't know if it's his ex-wife now or what. He thinks like Cleopatra was black. No, she was Greek. She was a Greek Egyptian, a Middle Eastern with Greek. And they were like, oh, she's black. We know she was black. It's like, if you're trying to do a documentary, do it right. Do your research. Do your research, Jada. You dumb bitch. It's sad to see Netflix don't do their research. They're like, oh no, this person's black. That person was, and then they try to. What's another one? They try to say that Jesus was black, and I'm like, huh? Jesus was Middle Eastern and Jewish. Did you know? Do you know your history? No, you don't, because you think everybody's black. You think Tesla was black. he's not black. He's a white guy. Jeez, just like wow, retardation for these people. It's come down to the point where you're gonna be seeing people get annoyed with the other half because they're more worried about the history than anything else. Nobody gives a crap anymore about TV because they know that people have been shoveling bullcrap down people's throats for years now. And then they try to say like, "Oh, we know history well," blah 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 blah. It's like, do you know? Clearly, you don't. You clearly didn't go to school. Clearly, probably dropped out because you don't know history. God, and the thing of it, though, is people are like, "Oh, we know history really well," blah 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 blah. We've been around town. It's like if you know history, why the hell like Netflix has to have every English, every was Indian or Asian or anything that has to do with their culture has to be black. Like Indian, English, everything. What next? Hitler's black? Are we gonna have a black Hitler for everything now? Because come on now, people. If we're gonna do Netflix, they should have a black Hitler. Because people would be laughing about that shit when they see that on screen. Because it's hilarious that people don't know their history anymore. They just see what's on the movies. They're like, oh, I believe it. No, it's not true. You fuck twats. You you clearly didn't pay attention in school. Your sole mindset is like, oh, I believe it because Netflix and Hulu and whatever told me it was. And it's like, no, these people are stupid. Hollywood is filled with retards. I hate to say it. Hollywood is filled with retards now. If they really knew about their history, they wouldn't like turn everything into like black or Asian. And they're like, oh, we know our history, but we have to make everything black or Asian. They made was it what movie I was watching like a while back. It was a history, and it was about I know it was soul crates. It was a history about soul crates, and they made soul crates into Asian, like he was like what like that like an Indian guy, and I'm like, soul crates was an Indian. He was Greek. He was a Greek Romanian. You are a fucking idiot. It's like who does the research with when they make movies? Like Socrates was a guy that was trying to that used sand and everything for for analogies for life. Try to explain a story by using sand and whatever that he could have in his hand, and he was a philosopher with story with his weird ass stories. And it's sad to see that how they took history nowadays and they make it so stupid. So people that are stupid think that it's true. I was like they're trying to say William Wallace wasn't real, and then kind of find out there was a true story about William Wallace. Like the story was true. It's like, come on now, don't stop rewriting history now. You just it's sad to see how far history has fallen, and it's like you take a little time out of your life. You should learn history. You should pick up a book. Do something. Do something with your life. Do something to make it awesome. Like learn something new every day. Like my favorite part was learning about different like wars and stuff. Like World War II was my favorite history because there is so much flaws to the history. They try to say that Russia was that bad. Russia was bad back in the day. They were killing their own people back in the day just so they because they didn't want any weak people to cross over Germany to take over Germany. And then what was another thing? Like the U.S. was like, oh, they're good people. It's like no, they weren't. Russia back then were killing their own. They killed more people than the Germans did with Jewish people. Russians killed like 12 million of their own people. Germany killed 5 million. Who's more at fault? Russia was more at fault than Germany. They would go through everything and just want to kill everything. They didn't give a shit who they were. They asked for help from America because at near the end because they're slowly losing people on the battlefield because they just didn't give a shit. They shot whoever they wanted to shoot at, and it's sad to see that people think like they go and go, oh, everything was bad, like history, World War II, like everybody was, and it's like no, the how you look at it, both sides were at fault. Russia was killing their own people because they were like, oh, we don't want any weak people getting over to be fight with us in Germany. They had to use a train to get to Germany from Russia. Was that another thing that really annoyed me was John McCain trying to make him out to be a hero, but he freaking told the Vietnamese when he was in prison camp where what the soldiers were doing and shit. But they say he's a hero. He's more of a traitor than a hero. John McCain sold everybody out in Vietnam. He should have been looked at as a hero. Sorry, hate to say it. He was criminal. He was a traitor. He was at fault for fucking up Vietnam their plans in Vietnam. Where everybody else like killed themselves so they would have to tell them where everybody was going, where they're coming from. It's sad to see like everybody looks up for stupid people and go, hey, he did something good. No, he did not. If you actually do your history, you'll find out some shit that they don't tell you. It's sad to see what's going on and it's America lost touch in history, and that's the sad thing about it is they'll believe what anybody would say to them these days. You're like, oh well, they told me this and or they told me that. It's like, yeah, sure, buddy. Who told you that? A fucking tard. I gotta say, for me, growing up to knowing what was going on, the 90s were a lot better than today's. Like, the 90s were 10 times better than today's history. Today's problems. Like, we used to get along. Everybody used to get along in the 90s. Like, nobody gave a crap if you were gay, straight, black, whatever. We all got along. We all hung together. We all did a lot of stupid shit in the 90s. And I can actually admit it. We did a lot of stupid shit in the 90s. We had a hell of a better shows in the 80s and 90s than we do today's. That's saying something. The cartoons back then were badasses. You had a lot of good shows. You had Mega Man. You had Mario, the Lou Albano version of Mario. You had everything back in the day that was worth watching. You look at it now, it's like, why do we watch it? Why do people watch this crap? Netflix used to, like, Netflix back in the 2000 era, like the late 2002, early 2010 era. They knew what they were. They had good shows, good movies, and everything. And then they slowly started going woke. Like, they were like, "Oh, we gotta be woke. We gotta be with the woke crowd, because we gotta be hip on the times." And it's like, there's less on the far left than there is anything else. Like, the woke community is not huge to what people make it out to be. And it's sad to see. It's sad to see that everything that everybody wanted to see gets canceled or gets moved to a different platform. And another thing I'm getting mad about is, like, games lately. Like, they bring out broken games and they're like, "Oh, let's delay this game," and then it's still broken. It's like, dude, fix your games. You need to fix your games if you're gonna make sales. Because this is getting out of hand where they come out with a game and they're like, "Oh, we gotta delay it now because said we're gonna be out on the 11th, but we're gonna change the date around." And then another thing, we're supposed to be waiting for Ubi to make the beta test for Division, the third game. And it's been how long now? It's going on a year now. Don't even hear from it. They didn't say anything about the new idea for the new game. And guess what? Diablo 4 is here. And Division's still not even done yet. It's like, Ubisoft is like, I don't know if they're retarded. They don't give a shit about their plans. Ubisoft should just give up their company. I'm sorry, they should shut their doors if they don't want to make games anymore, or they just want to delay games or cancel games. The reason why they're going downhill because they didn't do advertisement for freaking the Mario thing, the Mario Rabbids game, or anything else. And another thing, like, everybody's getting sick of the rabbits. The Rayman and Rabbids deal thing. Because they're like, it's getting old. It's not funny anymore. It's like, oh, we gotta have Rayman Rabbids group in every game now. The bunnies were funny back in the day. But it's annoying now. It's nothing new. But they don't want to mention it. I think they should just give up. Ubisoft and what other companies should give up their act? Like, EA should give up because EA is terrible now. EA has failed miserably for the past few years. Well, then at that note, nobody's actually watching my shit, so I'm basically just gonna end it because I'm bored and I feel like I'm just talking to myself because nobody's been watching it. Well, anyways, enjoy yourself tonight. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and be yourself. Don't be like assholes like anybody else that you see on YouTube. And enjoy life. Well, everybody, I'm logging off. Have fun. Bye bye.